Hello, everybody. Namaste. Good evening or good morning, wherever you are. As you know, I've done a lot of meditation videos. A lot of people wonder, hey, what's up with this meditation? Now, I've done a lot of music and been traveling around the world, playing, performing, even sharing live feeds with my songs. Now, how come meditation? Well, not only during the pandemic, but also during the time before the pandemic. Everybody's going through a certain struggle. All of us have challenges. Years ago, I remember I got into meditation and I loved that feeling. And still, I had a really hard time to relax. A lot of people come up to me and say, what are you doing to be this, easy, to be at peace? Now, I have to be quite honest. It was very hard for me to relax. Even after a yoga session, I felt good, I felt relaxed, but it wasn't much longer after where I got stressed again and had my old patterns. It really hit me until I got really, really sick. I had a situation or several situations where I felt like, wow, I couldn't breathe. And when you're in a position or in a situation where you can't breathe or you can't be your normal self, the only energy you have left inside of your body is wanting to breathe, wanting to be alive. And it was so that I was in a hospital, I remember, and I saw the sunrise. I happened to be in a room all the way upstairs, and I had a window where I could see the sunrise. And it gave me flashbacks. I remembered when I got into doing Qigong and meditation, and I just felt like this is the time to just go ahead. Because for many years I let it go. I kind of let it slip away, and I had other things in mind. I was busy doing my thing. But this time it was different. I felt something is shifting inside of me. It wasn't about wanting to relax. It wasn't even about achieving a career or get something. This time it was just very genuine, very pure. And the kindest and purest intention, just wanting to live. And so I remember having such a hard time breathing. As I looked at the sunrise, I felt this peace inside of me, this stillness that I hadn't experienced in a long, long time, if at all. Yeah. So I remember the nurses came in. I had a little meditation music running, and all the nurses wondering, wow, what's happening here? And they looked at me and says, we like it. So even they became relaxed, and their mood changed. So when I left and it came back to my home, I went to the beach. And it was during sunset time where I made a commitment. I made a promise to myself that I never ever want to miss a sunrise or a sunset again. I swear it was never the same again. I felt like I slept half of my life. I was so occupied with achieving certain things, or even if it's the best intention, still I sacrificed so much peace of mind. It was then when I realized how important it is to not just have a physical home, but also an emotional and a spiritual home inside your heart. And I believe that's when I discovered my true home, my calling. And from that day on, I decided I wanted to watch the sunrise meditate, and do the same thing in the evening. So I broke my pattern. I changed my behavior. Back in the days, I would run through social media and or produce late at night. And sometimes, or most of the time, a lot of time gets wasted. So I decided to change everything. So when I woke up, at first I admit it was hard. It was 5 a.m. You know, normally we wake up around 4 or 5 if we have to take a pee or we're hungry. We look at the watch and say, hey, you know what? I think it's time to go back to sleep. And then we kind of sleep through the entire morning if we don't have to go to work. Yeah. So waking up at 5 a.m., there was something so different about it. Nobody is awake, no noise, no distraction. And so I'll be going to the beach, walking along the beach all the way to my spot, and just close my eyes, observe myself, and regardless of what struggles I've been dealing with, I just allow myself to be at ease and to be in a place of stillness. And that's when I found the strength within me, the higher spiritual self. Because we think we are what we're doing. We think we are our emotions or our body or our achievements, etc. But we're not that. We are the soul. We don't just have soul, we are the soul. It happens to be inside of a body. Now, everybody believes differently. I'm not telling you what to believe and what to feel. Speaking from my own experience, and even speaking from other people's experience. Just to bring up a quick example, the last wife of my father, both of them already passed away, but she had struggled with cancer. Okay, she had certain body parts removed because of the cancer early in her life. Then she went through depression because her then husband left her for a younger woman. That was before my father, and she was really down, and she got very sick. And she met my father at the hospital, and both of them, befriended each other, and then eventually fell in love with each other, and then also got married. And it was the longest marriage my father and her had, I believe 25 years. She was not a very religious person. My father more so. Both of them were having very different beliefs. She discovered a group. They were doing Qigong, Tai Chi, and also meditation. Now, many doctors told her during the time she had cancer that she would not live very long. Well, she lived longer than some of her doctors. She decided traveling the world, doing many different meditation and Qigong retreats, and it changed her life entirely. She lived 25 years longer than most doctors predicted. She eventually passed away much later, and God bless her. But imagine what a shift. If she had given up, she would have never experienced those 25 years. So meditation is a very powerful tool, and it doesn't require for you to be religious or political. It's just simply acknowledging your higher self to reconnect with your source, God, whichever you want to call it. When it's there, it's existent. Existent like gravity. If I grab a pin or something, it will drop. So no matter what our opinion or belief is, it does exist. And so this energy, whichever is holding the earth, a planet that is billions of tons heavy, travels thousands and thousands of miles per hour. How how is it possible that in this endless universe, the world is being held in one place? Or the moon and the sun and everything around it. And just like with us, we are this body so alive, moving all the time. And when we die, or whichever you want to call it, when we pass away, we turn into dust, like it's never been. So there's a force of energy, a power of energy that holds us together, that creates things that we don't look at it, that we don't visualize maybe, that we don't see, and yet it's existent. So that tells you that there is energy, and everything is energy. So when you get into meditation, you tap into that energy. You tap into your higher spiritual self, being in a place of stillness, and this is just the start. Now, many people do many different types of meditations or different type of disciplines. Some do yoga, some do walking meditation, some do breathing exercises. There are so many ways. One way or the other, it leads to the same place. We want to find our inner center. Okay, like in yoga, the most powerful pose is called Shavasana. And the end of the session, where everybody is laying on their back and just closing their eyes, breathing, and really feeling that inner stillness, that peace. Whichever way you wanna exercise or you wanna do it, the important part is not to be controlled by our emotions or our body. Acknowledging the importance of the I, the real I, the higher self. And that's what meditation taught me. I realized that rather I want to, if I want to perform, if I want to compete, if you're going on a date, it don't really matter what you do. Going into a business meeting, your performance, your presence depends on your energy. And just imagine this. Something tragic happens. It's a shock. And you get into a certain state of mind. You're feeling certain emotions. Now, these are the emotions. They are there, but you create that state of mind you're in. Because now you put so much focus into that grief and sadness. And don't get me wrong, it's actually very healthy to grieve. You need to get your tears out. You need to, whichever way you need to express your feelings. That's okay. It's important. What's counterproductive if you sink deeper and deeper into that state and just manifest on that sad state of mind. Now, because that's what you create. So if you can create such a sad or miserable state, that means you can also create a joyful state, a peaceful state of mind. Because the emotions, your mind, your thoughts, they're not the I, the you, the actual you. You are the soul. So I'm trying to put it in the most simple way possible. If you sit by the beach and you enjoy the beach and you enjoy the sun and just feeling the sun shining on you, closing your eyes, feeling completely relaxed, guess what you feel? You feel at peace. You don't worry at all because you're enjoying that moment. That moment you have decided to be in that peaceful state of mind. And so you are in control The higher spiritual self is in control of whatever you feel, whatever you decide to be, whatever you decide to do at that moment, because it's just like that. I mean, I couldn't put it in any other way. When I was not feeling at my best and felt very down, I have to admit it's been very, very difficult to shift, because the very first thing happens is you're in shock. Whether you lose a loved one, I lost my father, my brother as well, and like you guys, a lot of people. And when you miss someone, when you love someone, you're not going to just get up and say, hey, everything is great, just forget it, let's move on, that's it. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, not the other way around. That means you do have everything that comes along with it. And I mean everything. You have emotions, you have thoughts. And that then in itself influences you. So, and I saw when it was very difficult for me, missing my family, being a foreigner in another country, traveling, not knowing where I'm going to be tomorrow, watching love couples and thinking of the times when I had the love of my life, wanting to be with her. These are all emotions. Whatever happens, whatever you do in your life, they pop up. Of course they pop up, you know. But I realized as I began to meditate, the emotions didn't just go away. It wasn't like that. What happens is I used my energy differently. I tapped into the source of energy, who I really am. So as I started meditating, all the feelings, all the emotions magnified. They were even stronger. I felt them even more than ever before. A lot of times people go into a bar, have a drink and say, hey, you know what? Life is good. And then you have a headache the next day, have a hangover, and things usually get worse. We don't want to hope that for anybody. Even I have been very self-destructive. So going through meditation taught me to really observe. And I didn't need anything for it. No alcohol, no drugs, nothing. Not even somebody giving me advice or an opinion. It was just simply being connecting to the source. Being connected to the source. So it's such a powerful tool. Ever since I started that, I never went back. My life has shifted. I wake up in the morning. I look forward to see the sunrise. I look forward to start the day early. I'm inspired, like in spirit. I'm fully and completely inspired. And it doesn't even matter where I am. I could be in a freezing cold country like Germany during the winter time, or it can be in a beautiful Spain, or somewhere in Peru or in Brazil. It no longer really matters. Yes, it makes a difference when you have a weather, you know, that's warmer, when you have an environment where you don't have to freeze. And nevertheless, interestingly, when I start doing my meditation, I forget the place, I forget the weather, I forget everything. All I acknowledge is the spiritual higher self, being in a complete state of stillness and feeling peace, serenity. Now, I sing about serenity in many of my songs. I talk about love, I talk about peace. But it's one thing to sing about it, talk about it, and another to really, truly experience that. For example, if I write a song, I feel the emotions. I don't just do the song, I don't just sing the song, I'm really getting inside that state. And let's say I remember a song that was very sad, a very, very sad song. I wrote a song for my brother who passed away. I really felt that grief and that sadness. And so what happens, you tap inside of that emotion. And then you actually breathe and experience that emotion, that moment. You're entirely in that moment. And the great thing about writing songs, being creative, you're actually creating hope. You're creating inspiration for others. You are what you're supposed to be, a creative source. And the more you create, the closer you get to the creator. If you can, and you can, if you choose to, go in that path, creating and using your emotions to elevate to a higher level, you no longer feel depressed. I'm not speaking about everybody. Everybody is different. I said everyone has a different case, has a different life, everybody's going through different motions. However, as different as we are, we're all the same in a way. Because we all want unconditional love. We all want to be more happy than, miserable. We all want to have more joy rather than pain. We all are in need of peace and eternal harmony in order to progress in life. And so we all have that in common. Whether it is music or doing meditation, training, or being in the perfect relationship of your lifetime, it all is about eternal love, being in a place of stillness, peace, and harmony. And so meditation is a powerful tool. It has helped me to realize and acknowledge I belong here. I have a purpose. And I'm here on purpose. And so it is with you. You are here with a purpose, on purpose. It's no accident. The things that you want to achieve, they may not work based on your timetable. But truth of the matter is that in Spirit's timing, it's not based on the human clock, because time is like an illusion. We have created this timetable and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and so on. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, if you really, really tap inside of your inner being, of your presence here on earth, it's infinite. Before you became this body, this person that you look at, you were formless. There wasn't a shape of you. You were energy entirely. And now here we are, as I'm talking with you, that soul is in that body, and each day we're recognizing more and more who we really are. You are the soul. So I just wanted to share my thoughts about meditation, about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I have a lot of classes going on. I have a live meditation podcast on Facebook and also on YouTube. And one of them is a private group where I share all the insights and techniques, etc., for those who are really interested. And then I have a public group where you can see all my live podcasts, like right now, and on different platforms as well. You can check YouTube as well. I can share the links with you later, but just check my page. You see a lot of posts and a lot of links. I have a website too, if you want to check that out. some other time, alexwill.com. I am grateful for being connected with you. Thank you for being present. Namaste. Have a wonderful evening or a great morning, wherever you are in the world. As we see every day, there are challenges, whether it's the pandemic or the people in India, or Brazil, Africa, around the world. Everybody's dealing with challenges. So what I'm sharing with you is about elevating the soul, the spirit, the spiritual higher self, and not for only improving ourselves, but to share it with the world, to bless the world and bring inner healing. Because that is what I sincerely wish for everybody. So I thank you for listening. Namaste, and see you next time. Peace out.